and welcome to Empire Rugby League. This is Coachy from the Couch with your NRL and NRLW previews with Bear and Wombat. Wombat, how are we?
Good. We're a little bit different because NRLW is finally kicking off on Thursday night.
Yes, it is. And I tell you what, I'm usually all over this, but with the addition of the Bulldogs and the return of the Warriors, the talent has been spread far and wide, and there are a lot of new names. So everyone out there listening, we're going to be learning with you on this NRLW season. So we'll kick it off with Sharks v Eels, Shark Park on Thursday night. Look, without knowing too much, obviously, as we just said, there are some obvious names that we do know. So for the Sharks, Emma Verren at fullback, deadly. Tiana Penatani-Gray back into her preferred spot at centre, along with Anessa Biddle, retains centre, who had a great year last year. Other than that, look...
On the Eels, you got Abby Church and Rory Owen. So
yeah, both played Origin.
Both played Origin, yeah. And then, those Rory Owen's back into the centre. She played centres for the Queensland.
Yep.
Abby Church
was
played
the fullback for New South Wales.
And honestly, they both played really, really well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So don't think there's going to be too much. I mean, you got in the front row for the front row matchup is pretty interesting here because you've got Ellie Johnston and Jacinta Carter. I remember watching them play, and Johnston played for New South Wales, didn't she? Correct me? Yeah. She did. Well, she had a motor on her.
For a
big girl.
Yeah, for a big girl, she's got an excellent motor. Obviously, hard to handle in contact. Up against Elsie Albert, who we all know is just made of granite. And WA's own Ruben Cherrington is the starting nine for Parramatta, which we saw a bit of last year. Unfortunately, really bad injury kept her out for most of the season. And a niggling knee injury from Origin is also keeping her sister Kennedy out of the squad at the moment. She's looking for a round 2, round 3 comeback.
That's fair. There seems to be a lot of new, fresh names in this.
There is a lot here, and we expect that with the NRLW obviously going strength to strength and growing, and the girls' pathways being absolutely amazing. So,
an interesting thing on here, I'm going off. We're both sort of going off the NRL website here as well. Everyone knows that under the player's photo, they say captain, right? Yeah. Now,
there's no captains named in any of these.
Penatani's named the captain on the NRL app website. So Penatani is named captain for the Sharks side, which is fair. But if we scroll down, you've got Mahalia Murphy.
For Parramatta,
Parramatta, but she's named on extended bench, so there has to be a new captain appointed. Who?
Potentially. I think Mahalia's fighting a niggle to be fit for this game. I don't think she will play from all reports out of Parramatta, and I can only say this because that's my club. From all reports, they're going to take the cautious approach with her. So, I would see then probably Rachel Pearson, the 7, taking the captaincy. She's been around a little while in the NRLW, so she's played Origin as well. Look, I can't see any issues with that, but
we've actually got
a tip from the dark. Where are we going, Wombat? Where are we going here?
I'm unfortunately going to go Sharks because I think the New South Wales dominating in in State of Origin at the start of the year, I think those players that played in that are going to run on a high.
Yeah, so you're talking Emma Verren, Tiana Penatani-Gray, Ellie Johnson, Quincy Dodd was a part of the squad. And then there's some other quality in that side as well. And Sharks coming off a grand final appearance, although they did lose, but they were in last year's NRLW grand final. So you're going Sharks there. Look, I'll start the season loyal. I'll tip the Para Girls.
With the Para Girls, they've actually got a England international representative. Paige Travis is making her first
debut in the back row.
Back row. Number 12. So if anyone does watch this and does follow this quite intensely, we're
learning on the fly with you. So,
on the fly, but a bit behind the 8 ball. So while Bear takes down our tips, we're Moving on to the Dogs Knights. That's a Friday night game at 5:40 our time at a core stadium.
Yes.
So
Dogs' first ever game.
Dogs make their very first appearance, and judging by the looks of these player names, it's going to be a very fresh-looking side because there is not a single name in this list that I recognise, especially the number 14 for the Dogs. That's a mouthful. I'm not going to even pronounce that. Not because I can't. I can't really, but I don't want to butcher it out of respect.
Well, I can help you with a few names in that squad that stick out to me. Ash Quinlan and Taylor Preston. Now, Taylor Preston was at the Sharks last year, I believe.
Was she? Well, she's taken up the captaincy at the Dogs.
Yeah, so I think Taylor was the starting 7 last year for the Sharks. I could be wrong. But Ash Quinlan has been around a while as well, so that halves pairing is experienced. I can also tell you that the number 10, Tegan Dimmick, is just a legacy of the club. So Jim Dimmick obviously played for the club, coached at the club. I think he's still involved. So that's just continuing on the legacy there. And Holly Wheeler at 13, I think for this Dogs side will prove to be the buy of the year if they go well. Mm-hmm. She is tough as nails.
That's
if you
fair.
want a comparison, and I know we don't like comparing the NRLW players to the NRL players, but Holly Wheeler is Cam McGuinness.
That's fair.
All right, so there's some absolute quality there, and then I haven't fact checked this, but the 17 for the Dogs also looks like a very familiar surname in Hopawati, and I would put money on it that this is John's daughter. So therefore, he would have yet another child playing professional rugby league.
Well, yeah, that's a bit full.
That's quite a lineage from the Hopawati. You got John himself. You had Will. You've got Lehigh now. There's another one, another boy, and then obviously
Albert Hopawati.
Albert's floating around in the Raiders, and there's another one somewhere. And obviously, I'm almost certain that that's his daughter.
But we'll
move on to the Knights.
Yeah, on to the Knights. Well, you've got this name is recognisable. Botilli? I want to say that's Botilli.
Oh, Bobo. Well, yeah, Bo Vetti Welsh. Yep.
She's been floating around a utility role in the reserves when Tamika Upton was at the Knights. Now, Tamika's now moved on to the Broncos.
Yep.
Has signed on there, so she takes over from her.
Yeah, Bo has been at the Tigers, at Parramatta. Yeah. She's at a few clubs now, just moving around because that's the early days of the NRLW. Yeah. Everyone was very transient.
Now, the halves for the Knights, this could be a pretty good halves matchup because you got Jessie Southwell, who had a absolute blinder
of an Origin series.
In the Origin series. Georgia Roach,
former Kiwi.
She had an absolute blinder in internationals last year as well.
And the number 3 there is one of our very own homegrown talents as well.
Shanice Parker.
Yep.
Yes. But Yasmin Clydesdale takes up captaincy over Tamika Upton in the number 12. And Eva McEwen is also another out-and-out back rower that is... Yeah.
Taylor Predaborn, that sounds familiar. I think she was at the Sharks last year too.
So
the Sharks seem to have been gutted a little bit.
Possibly.
But which way are we leaning here, Wombat? Obviously, our knowledge is limited.
I want to go Dogs just because they're the new kids on the block.
Yeah.
And I think my gut's telling me Knights, but my head just goes, no, I'd be the underdog. Go the Dogs.
I mean, I would love to, but I'm going to back the kid, Jessie Southwell. If the forward pack of Newcastle can do half their job every week, this young kid in Jessie Southwell should pick up Dally M Player of the Year for the NRLW by the length of the straight.
That's fair.
But moving on to...
You know a lot more than NRLW than I do.
Yeah.
So, I'm purely just going off what I think is gut feeling.
You watch. I'll be wrong 80% of the time. Broncos, Tigers. This one...
is a totally workwear stadium.
So where's that? That's somewhere in Queensland?
I'm pretty sure that's near the KO Stadium.
Okay. So it'd be one of the cup side grounds.
might be Tweet Seagulls Cup
enough.
ground. I'm not. I'll have to check that.
Yeah, I have to Google that one. But anyway, we have the Broncos v the Tigers. The names that we do know, that Broncos side is still actually quite strong. They have lost a little bit, but you got Tamika Upton at fullback, who is world class. Meli Hafanga is an absolute beast in the centres. And then a surprise here is Julia Robertson has moved into the centres.
She's actually put on a. Judging by training photos from Brisbane Broncos, she's actually put on a bit of size.
So been in the gym. So who's coaching the Broncos women now?
I'm pretty sure. Is it still Prince? Is
It could still be Scotty.
Sure it's Scotty Prince.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That means Scotty's seen something. That's a bit left field, but yeah.
Filling in that number 5 position, Hayley Maddock.
Yeah, the backup fullback for Queensland, and well, what we thought was going to be the backup for Upton. But that halves pairing's class. Gail Broughton, Ali Brigginshaw.
Keely Joseph
at prop. I don't know how that's going to go. That to me is like playing Carrigan at prop. Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, however, the 13, having the privilege of actually growing up watching Bree Spreadborough actually playing, she's a good fit at 13.
Fair enough.
She is a good fit at 13.
So our player to watch out of Brisbane is Bree?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, we can mark that down. And then there's some experience on the bench too with Lana Dudesy and Destiny Brill.
The new kid on the blog is actually Tara McGrath West. She's played a couple of NRLW games, but I don't think it's for the Broncos.
It doesn't ring a bell, but again, I'm behind in this. The Tigers. There is definitely a storyline in this. The number 4 for the Tigers, Emily Bass, was a Bronco last year and is now a Tiger. The young 7, Lutu, she had some nice moments last year at the back end, so it's nice to see Brett Kamali sticking with the young half. Other than that...
You're one of your favourites. I'm pretty sure it's Sarah Togatuki.
Oh, Togatuki. She's a weapon.
Yeah, and then Kezi Apps is...
Who doesn't love Kezi? If you followed the NRLW from day one, who doesn't love Kezi?
She's taken up captaincy of the beloved Tigers.
Oh, absolutely. And the rest is all rather new to me. So, which way are you going to lean here, Wombat?
Oh, that Broncos side is hard to knock. You've got... Just alone in Ali Brigginshaw and Tamika Upton, what's there between them? Like 7 NRLW premierships between them?
Something ridiculous.
Because they've won 3.
Well, Ali won 2 at the Broncos with Tamika.
With Tamika. Then
Tamika won 1 at Newcastle as well.
No, won 2. They won back-to-back because that was when Millie Boyle was there. Then Millie Boyle went to the Roosters and then went 2-2.
Yeah, so, yeah.
There's a lot of premierships in this one.
I'm with the Broncos as well, purely experience, like you just mentioned. Moving on, Canberra v Dragons down in the nation's capital. Now I'm looking. There should be. I can't see her. Oh, yes, I can. Samana Taufa. There she is at 13 for the Raiders, and she should be captain too. Is she not?
Co-captain with Zahara Tamara.
With the 7. Yep, that's fair. But the rest of that back line doesn't look familiar unless Wombat, the number 4 for Canberra, that surname Wiki, if that is Ruben's daughter or niece or anything related, that's going to be one hell of a tough human to put down. Because that's some pedigree coming if you're coming from Ruben Wiki's family. Other than that, I don't think there's much change in the forward pack from last year. Look out for the 15 on the bench, Grace Kemp.
Oh, yeah.
Redhead.
She's
And every good Canberra side has always had a redhead. We've got Corey Horsburgh in the NRL. We've got Grace Kemp in the NRLW.
Emma Barnes coming in at the utility 9 she's lightning.
Oh, is she? Okay, beautiful.
Watching her play last year was... Yeah, she was the difference for some of those Raiders games.
Beautiful. And then the Dragons, Tegan Berry, we know the class that she's got. Bobby Law, same. Racy Gregor is she's been around a while now, so plenty of experience in the 7. Hannah Southwell, the older sister of Jesse and former Newcastle Knight, locks the forward pack for the Dragons. So that's another off-season move, I believe.
I think that's because I don't think the Knights wanted to re-sign, but they helped her find another club that wanted to sign,
Well,
so.
at least they did something nice. But again, if you follow the trend of the NRL, if Newcastle let you go, you must have some great talent. But that's really all I can pick out of that Dragons side. I know that the Dragons nursery for the girls is extremely strong. It's just probably 2 to 3 years away from coming through to NRLW level.
Yeah.
Which way are you going to lean here, Wombat?
The Raiders are always, no matter if it's NRL, NRLW, they're hard to beat at home.
Yeah, I'm going the experience and the known factor in the Raiders there as well. But who knows? Is this the last game, or is there one more after this? There is another one after this. So
actually, I think there's 2 more.
All right, Cowboys Titans. That's a change. Jakaya Whitfield to fullback.
Yeah.
Instead of she was in the halves last year, was she not?
Pretty sure she was playing 6.
Yeah.
Or 7. Kira Dibb played 6.
I
don't know that.
Kira Dibb's.
She's a 7.
She's a 7 and quality.
How's this for a halves?
Emma Manzelman in the. Hang on a minute. Let's just check out this spine for the Cowboys.
Manzelman, that's normal. That's normal for her.
Jakaya Whitfield, speed to burn and has skill.
Rosie Kelly is skill.
Rosie Kelly, Kira Dibb, experience and class. Emma Manzelman is a gun out of 9, and then you throw in Bree Chester at 13. That's a dangerous spine.
And Alicia Ford, off the bench.
Doesn't ring a bell, but I'm going to assume that there's obviously
another Emma.
Yeah.
Another Emma.
Oh Jesus! Tell you what, that's well done, Cowboys. That's putting together quite a spine there. And then there's some experience in the forward pack as well with Mackenzie Wheel, Talisha Harden, Jasmine Peters in the centres. Okay.
And there's another homegrown favourite here with myself is Lillian Yarrow starting front row for the Cowboys. Watching her play, she came through CQ Capras. She was playing with Tamika Upton. She got signed with the Cowboys training trials. She was on and off for a little while. She is one tough cookie. She is tough.
Fair enough.
If I was to...
Again, we don't like the comparisons, but sometimes
it just helps get the point across. But if you were to say... I'm trying to think of a Cowboy that... McIntyre. That hard player to take down, but just will go at you.
Fair enough. So Lillian Yarrow, one to watch out for. The Titans, Jamie Chapman makes the move to fullback.
I think that's a good move.
It could be, as long as her hammies hold up. Lauren Brown, well, we all know the class that
How's
she
that
has.
for a halves matchup?
Kira Dibb and Lauren Brown. Unfortunately, I think Lauren Brown's just got the edge there, but that's just class.
Another name in that Titans side is Natasha Penatani.
Believe it is Tiana's sister. Believe.
Could be. Or a distant cousin.
Yeah, possibly. I think there's a relation there. But the rest of that forward pack is experienced.
Oh, Shaylee Bent as well. Jeez, she's back.
Georgia Hale, Jessica Elliston, Sienna Lafippo from Origin had a great Origin for Queensland, and Brayley Narty out of dummy half. That's wow. Okay, that looks like a forward pack. But hey, the NRL Titans have a international forward pack as well, but they can't get off the bottom of the ladder. Which way you leading here in the first Queensland derby of the NRLW?
I genuinely think the Cowboys on this one, purely because the spine looks just that little bit more damaging from the Cowboys.
I mean,
from what we've seen
early season, I'm going to back the forward pack here. I'll go to Titans.
That's fair.
I mean, why not?
We don't know. So we're shooting blindfold.
Then we move to Allianz Stadium with the Roosters, the reigning premiers, up against the returning Warriors. Obviously, COVID threw their NRLW plans into turmoil. Great to have them back
One little
now.
note we will say about this, and while Bear's talking about it, I will find it again, but it's about the Wars. We had a quick search of actual debutantes versus club debutantes. There is a lot.
All right, I'll go through this Roosters lineup just quickly. Bridie Parker moves to fullback, which is an interesting move. Obviously, the centres, world class in Surgis and Kelly. Nothing wrong with that. Jamie Frezard on the wing, who had a great debut series for New South Wales. And no Taryn Aiken. She still has a bit of a niggle in her shoulder from the Origin series. So Corbin Baxter returns. We all know the quality that Corbin is. And Jocelyn Kelleher is the 7. You got Keely Davis out of hooker. Olivia Koenig is at lock. So
Jasmine Strange in the back row.
Jazzy Strange in the back row.
Well, that's fair when you've got Jessica Surgis and Isabel Kelly.
Yeah, you're not going to push either of them out of the squad. So that looks like a pretty solid side for the reigning premiers.
All right, so we'll go through this. So this is the Warriors side. Now, I'm just going to read their numbers out because I don't, out of respect for their name. If I can say their name, I will. You got Appy Nichols at fullback, who's the captain.
Yes, so she should be.
Is a Kiwi Ferns international player as well. She came from the Roosters, I believe.
Uppy, she's floated around for a little while, but wherever she's gone has been quality.
In the number 2, you got Michaela Brake. She's making her NRL debut. Then you've got number 3, Tisha. Not going to say NRLW as well. Emma Packy is a club debut. Number 5, Peyton, NRL debut, club debut. Like there is a lot here.
I reckon they've gone and raided the Union. So
going through this team list, I'll read out. So from 1 down, Appy Nichols she's played NRLW before. I'm going to go off the fact that she's played for the Warriors before previously.
Yes.
Well, given the fact that she is Kiwi international as well, that might help. So we've got NRL debut, club debut, club debut, NRL debut, NRLW debut, NRLW debut, club debut, NRLW debut, NRLW debut. Again, another NRL debut, club debut, and the rest are all NRLW debuts. Yeah. So besides Appy Nichols, nearly every other player is either debuting for the club
or the game.
Whoever is stitching on the signage for these jerseys
is going to be a million embroidery details for this one. Which way are you going to lean here?
Because I've been on the Warriors train, I'm not going to go the Wars. I'm going to go the Roosters because that Roosters side is insane.
Don't get me wrong. I'm only going the Roosters because of the complete unknown that the Wars team is, and with so much...
With our very limited research we have done, a lot of these names have actually come across from the Kiwi Ferns Union side.
Yes.
And the Rugby Union Sevens.
Yes,
international
side. Sevens. Look, and that's not to say that these girls aren't capable, but to have a very new bunch of players come together and have that continuity straight up is very rare. Mind you, they get going, they'll end up with the same support that the men's team have. But it's just the consistency of this Roosters side. That's the only reason I'm going there.
We'll have to do a bit of research. Is there a point where the women's Warriors and the men's Warriors line up at the same stadium?
There would have to be. The
NRL
wouldn't be stupid enough to miss that opportunity.
Oh, can that be at Smart Stadium? Oh,
yeah, I want it to be in New Zealand, absolutely.
Smart Stadium.
Massive double header in New Zealand. That'd be awesome.
Would it be Smart Stadium or
Mount
Smart or Go Media? Which one?
Go Media. I think it's the same stadium, just sponsors' names change all the time.
No, because one's in the north, one's in the south.
Oh, I can't remember. Either way.
Either way.
Put it in New Zealand when those two match. But that is round 1 of the NRLW done and dusted. We will move on quickly to the NRL round 18, and we will fly through these. We won't annoy you with team changes or anything drastic. Obviously, these teams will be Origin affected, but we kick off Friday night. Bulldogs v Broncos. No Origin stars. Selwyn Cobbo's back at fullback. Dean Mariner comes in.
And Ari Tuala
comes in for the Dogs.
Centers.
Blake Wilson comes in for the Dogs. Other than that,
yeah,
there's nothing major going on here.
The front rowers are hurt on both sides because of injuries and also Origin. So,
which way you leaning here, Wombat?
Where's it being played again?
It is at a core. So, is that Homebush?
Yeah. So it's Dogs home.
It is Dogs
regardless.
home game.
Oh, I think Dogs on this one.
Going Dogs for the bounce back.
Yeah. Well, out of I guess really smarts of this, the Dogs don't lose a whole lot.
No, they don't. They lose Critter in the centres, and they lose Max King up front, and they lose Kiraz as 18th man. And Kurt Mann off the bench, yes. But
then you've got Broncos that realistically, they lose their engine room.
They lose Carrigan, Haas, Shibasaki with debut, yeah, and
Reece Walsh.
He's not 18th. Oh, he's 18th man, yeah.
Reece Walsh is 18th. So they've lost their engine room completely.
Yeah. Well, you're going Dogs. I'm going Broncos.
That's fair. Just to be different.
No, not to be different, mate, I'm off the Dogs.
That's fair.
I'm off them.
I think just Dogs at home, really. That could be the depth.
It could be, but I don't know. I think things are starting to click up at Brisbane. But we'll move to Canberra on Saturday afternoon. It is the Raiders v the Dragons, and can you run through this one quickly, please, Wombat, while I try and find something?
Oh no! What are you trying to find? Some weird random stat?
If I can find it, you'll hear about it.
Alrighty, so we've got Raiders vs Dragons. Obviously, the resurgence and the SOS call has been answered by Josh Papali'i.
Yeah, Big Papa's gone.
Oh, he's gone, but he's
gone to a better place.
I got to admit, that gave me tingles watching that big fella and all the montages. Everything's coming back now.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the announcement.
So, obviously with that, Corey Horsburgh moves to prop with Morgan Smithies moving to the 13. And for the Dragons, all they lose is Valentine Holmes. So Corey Allen moves in for the wing into the centres and Tyrell Sloan onto the wing.
And Sione Finau comes in for, obviously, the multitude of injuries that the Dragons copped last week, especially in the back line.
Well, what's that made for Lawson?
He's injured too, I think. He did something.
Bloody hell.
The poor butt. The Dragons can't take a trick with the injury toll at the moment. But this is actually a genuine doubleheader. Mm-hmm. The women's Raiders v Dragons play before this. That's what I was hunting for.
Right, okay. So we get to kick it off straight away.
So this will be an awesome crowd.
Well, this is Saturday though. Are they kicking off? They're Saturday? Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. I just want to make sure.
So the girls are at 3:15 and
this is a wow.
Genuine curtain raiser doubleheader, which is brilliant. That's how. Yeah, this is how we should be playing.
I missed one with the Raiders as well. Hudson Young, so Simi Sasagi fills in back row as well.
Same as last week. And Fatala Mariners into the starting side with Jaden Sewer for the
Hands
Dragons.
Down.
But
just Raiders.
I was going to say, I don't think we need to ask. This is the green machine all the way for both of us here. Cowboys Melbourne up in
Country
up in
Bank.
Townsville.
Oh, this could. Cowboys don't seem to be playing well at home. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure
Cowboys don't seem to be playing well at anywhere.
Well, Cowboys are 0-2, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, at home.
And I think they've been spanked both times at home, haven't they?
Well, I think the first one was against Manly.
Yeah, who spanked them?
Was it Manly?
Yeah, Manly got him. Someone else got him.
Anyways, I'll go with my boys. We've lost. So Joe Chan goes into the centres with Howarth is
Still injured.
Had
or
appendix surgery, but he's also still been ruled out. Pretty sure it's only for this week. He could be back next week.
Kane Bradley's got the
Kane
call
Bradley's come in because Suafalongo has
Hammy.
injured his hammy, but Grant Anderson moves from the centres out to the wing.
A bit of a
because
shuffle.
Xavier Coates has been called into Origin. Tyron Wishart into the 6. Munster's in Origin as well. Then we've also Bronson Garlick into the 9, Harry Grant, and Nelson Asafa Solomona is the 13 for Trent Liero, with also
The 14. The 14.
Stefano Utu Ikamanu is also in the squad.
Origin. But the 14 for Melbourne.
Oh, my boy is back.
Jonah Peasant.
What a return. He has played 3 games, I believe, for Cup for Burleigh Bears and Sunny Coast Falcons, which are both feeder clubs for Melbourne Storm. Because he is in a top 30, he can he can go to both because he's in that signing. Just for anyone that didn't know that. But also 2 absolute barnstorming young players.
Vailepu
and Lissati is... And...
Mate, that bench is scary because if Melbourne get on top and those young fellas come on, Jesus.
Can I just say though, let's just scroll down a little bit. This is the future of Melbourne.
18.
Josiah Pahulu, who was a Titans Rookie of the Year last year.
Yep.
Kobe Williamson is a unit of a kid. I'm pretty sure this kid's 19.
Jesus.
He is a unit. Gabriel Satrick, I've watched him play Q Cup, and he is also in the...
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he's in the under-21s Melbourne Storm side.
Yep.
Oh, dominating. If anything, they found a very similar Vailepu, but in a back rower version.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Keegan Russell Smith has been there.
We've
He's
seen
been in
him
and
before.
out, but I think he's doing the same thing as Wishart, utility role
Yep.
into there. Now, one that's new is the Suolagi?
Pio.
Pio? That is a new one for me, but
Fair enough.
that reserve side and that bench is...
The future.
ouch.
Alrighty. Well, obviously, with Tommy didn't. Tom Duffy gets the recall into the side, and Jakey Clifford goes to 6. Peugeot stays in the centres. Other than that,
Harrison Edwards.
starting 9 for Reece Robson.
McIntyre in the 13.
Yes.
And Kai O'Donnell is the
starting
12.
side. With McKaylee, Lars and Hess.
And a debutant.
That's a decent bench. And
Temple Kalepo is a Q Cup dummy half.
that makes sense.
For the
with
Mackay
okay.
Cutters.
That makes sense.
So, welcome to the NRL, young fella.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be on the end of a 40 or 50 spanking. I'm going Storm.
I'm Storm as well.
Fair enough.
Because I think this is very similar to last year's round 27
7-ish, yeah.
against the Broncos, where it was just young kids have fun.
Yeah, I think so too. Moving on, Roosters Tigers. This is at Allianz. Look, obviously no Toya, so Marky Mark moves into the centres, and Tommy Rodwell gets his debut for the Roosters. Both him and his brother have been carving up in Cup. It's good to see one of them get their debut. The halves don't change. The kids have still got the halves. No Connor Watson means young Benaya starts with Zach Docker-Clay on the bench. Oh, look, Lindsay Collins missing. So
Blake Steep at front and the 13.
that could be dangerous. Look, it's these young kids from the Roosters that have shocked everybody this year.
That is a bench and a half for the Roosters.
Yeah.
Docker-Clay, Max McCarthy, debutant again.
Yep.
Lasalu, we've seen what he does, and
Va'a.
Va'a, who is a Payne Haas replica in a way, but I think he's a little bit bigger inside, like mass-wise.
And then, the
and
Tigers.
then again, 18th man for the Roosters as well. You've got Ethan King. Like he's been floating around there for a while. Like
I think that's Matt's son.
Matt King?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Oh, no.
I'd have to check that.
There's too many Kings.
Yeah. And then the Tigers, well, this is going to be just 52 pickup. Put the cards in the air and whichever ones you grab. Taruva's at fullback. Staines and Skelton on the wings. Luke Laliti, Starfatara in the centres. Dewey's gone to 6, and Latu Fainu has locked in the 7 jersey. No Appy, and obviously no Talon De Silva. So Tristan Hope now has the 9. The rest of the forward back, nothing drastic change. And young Charlie Murray comes in as the 14.
Alex Twal is named captain.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Twally boy, mate, he's got to be everyone's favourite Tiger, Alex Twal.
He can do no wrong.
Yeah. Let's hopefully he scores another try, so the drought's not as big. But I'm going Roosters here. I can't see anything but a Roosters flogging.
Roosters, just Roosters.
Yeah, mind you, it is Origin week, and there's been some upsets, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. Moving on to the last, or is it the last? Yes, it is. It's the last game.
It's Seagulls at 4 points.
It is Manly v Souths, and this will be the game that I might catch 40 winks in, because yuck, this game could be disgraceful. Manly are not travelling that well. Souths, well, they need to be travelling on their day.
Souths are travelling. We'll just say
Yeah.
that. They're travelling.
Look, the Tom Travojevic in the centres is staying.
Now,
Other than
however,
that, their 1-7 hasn't changed.
That matchup is a Tom against Aiken, and that's Colo against Graham. So you got a good matchup, and then possibly a one-sided battle.
Yeah. Look, there's no change to Manly. They have no Origin players. Bullymore back to the bench, I like. Matt Lodge starting, makes sense. Corey Waddell.
That's surprised.
He's come out of the shadows a bit this year. Well-deserved starting back rower spot. I think most of his career's come off the bench, but he's proven himself a very handy back rower.
I think he's had to pick up a fair bit of work because of the injuries to the
absolutely,
to the
but sometimes that's what players need to be seen. And then the Bunnies. Well,
I will say I like seeing Jai Arrow to the back row. Back row is him.
You reckon? I reckon he's a prop these days. I think anything else is too much. It's too much for him.
Yeah,
he hasn't got the lateral movement for the back row anymore. He's not a 13 because he can't ball play, mate. Get with it. You're a prop.
Yeah, but it seems to be a lot of their back rowers are now props.
Yeah,
with Keon.
and yeah. But anyway, AJ goes to fullback with no Latrell. As we mentioned earlier, Ewan Aiken slides out into the centres because Jack Whiten is named at 6. I like this. I like Humphreys and Whiten in the halves. I like that. I really do. Totola, Havili, Kaloa Matangi, Jai Arrow, Tallis Duncan ran some beautiful lines off Cody Walker last week to pick up a late double. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I went a bit too early. Maybe he is a back rower. Who knows? Lockie Hubner locks the scrum. Mamazoulis returned last week, which caught me by surprise, but I thought he was still a little while off. But the one I think will change, we might have to do a Wombat team change prediction here.
I've been a little bit off my game lately.
Yeah, I've been lately.
Yeah, lately.
Lewis Dodd, I don't think he plays. I think Kepi or Host come into the bench to bolster the forward pack.
If anyone's got a keen eye, in the number 22 is Brandon Smith. He won't play. No, he won't play.
I think it's still a bit too early for that from that knee.
From the way they're talking it up, it seems like he will play, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, fair.
Because he hasn't played a game yet.
Yeah, he's got to come back through Cup after that serious injury. I reckon Sean Kepi or Jacob Host, probably Kepi, the potato man, comes in. But look, I think this is your coin flip game, is it not?
Well, another change that I can see happening is Malmazoulis goes into the 9, starting 9.
Yep.
Havili comes off
to the bench, and then Lewis Dodd becomes that hooker
14,
rotation.
Yeah, and then Havili's that front row help
position. Okay,
that's what I can see happening.
That's very possible. But Which way you leaning?
Or you have Humphreys move into that 13.
Hell no, do not move your half.
No, I'm just saying. But it's happened before.
It happened before,
many
but it
times
was
before.
disgusting and it didn't work. So why would you do it again? Wayne's not that silly.
No, he's not.
All right, flip the coin. Manly or the Bunnies?
I don't know. This is... I genuinely don't know. See, either team on their day can do this.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing that's pushing me away from the Sea Eagles is it's at 4 points.
Oh, they had a good win there last week and last time they played, but that was against the Dragons and the Tigers.
Yeah, but then go back to the Storm and then go back to the Sharks.
Put it this way, they've beaten everybody underneath them on the ladder at home. And Souths are underneath them.
That's not many teams below them.
No, I know, but...
all right, let's go Eagles. Let's go Eagles.
You going Manly?
Let's go the favourites at the moment.
I'm going Bunnies.
I want Johnson to score though. Come on, I want Johnson to
I want AJ to score one every week just so we can knock off that record.
There is something that has been floating around. I'm pretty sure there's a petition.
Storm the field if he gets it.
Yeah, if he gets the try, everyone storm the field.
I'm not condoning that because I'm not paying you fine if you turn around and said that the Bear told you to
Oh
storm the field.
no! I'll be sitting at home on the couch watching it, but it'll be absolutely hilarious that they do it. But they need to do something.
Yeah.
If he breaks it this year or next,
No, it'll be this year.
But either way, because that 4 tries a couple of weeks ago was just
that's
rocketing him forward.
Yeah.
Now, if Johnson does do that, the NRL need to acknowledge it and need to do something about it.
Yeah. Look, if it comes before round 27 or whatever it does, the next game that Souths have at home should be a big do. I mean, cheap tickets, or open the gate.
How would they do that?
I don't know.
No, with it, we'll have a quick little spiel about that. So, you know how they do the presentation? You play 300 games, you get a ball presented, 300 games in it. Just as as they say about everyone gets a try, it's called a meat pie. Do they give him a meat pie?
Yeah, give him a Carlos
in a glass box.
No, I reckon surely the ball he scored it with gets taken somewhere, some sideline
like a
official,
golden ball or something like that.
Some sideline official, the ball that he scores the record-breaking try with, the sideline official has to go and get that ball and take it somewhere. Yeah. That needs to be boxed
and
up.
I'd have to put this to the Bunnies, and it'd be a question probably to ask Sweeney. What would he expect from a Bunnies supporter if Johnson was to break this record? What would he expect as a Bunnies supporter?
Fair question.
You might have to put that to the Western Front boys.
Might have to ask him. Yeah, I've got to go and see them this week. I think one of them's sick, so I've got the call up. I'm a bit nervous. Anyway, we'll run through those tips again. Running backwards, I've gone Bunnies, you've gone Manly. Both on the Roosters, both on the Storm, both on the Raiders. I've gone Broncos, you've gone Dogs. And we'll leave the NRLW ones there because I reckon we could both be wrong, even though we've tipped different teams.
There could be a few draws in there too, to be honest.
That'll do us. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.